What problem are we solving this week?
Well, I just heard you guys talking about Deadpool and Wolverine talk. That movie is creeping past $500 million globally in the box office today.
That's a lot of zeros.
That's a pretty big trilogy. It's part 3 in the trilogy, right? Is there going to be a 4th? I don't know. But
I don't
right
know.
now, you'd have to say it's one of the biggest, best trilogies of all time.
I would say that, I guess, at least biggest.
But would it make the top 5 biggest, best trilogies of all time? That's the question I'm asking you 3 today. There's a lot out there. There's some that were great trilogies, and then they made a 4th one, and you're like, oh, okay, it's not as great anymore.
Right.
There's some that kept going on to like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 movies. But there's a whole bunch of film series that ended with 3. And I want you 3, another great trilogy, to help me make a top 5 list of them. Go ahead.
Number 1 is Lord of the Rings, and there is no discussion needed.
Ooh, Lord of the Rings.
Coming in hot.
It's not just my opinion. I'm just saying, like, the amount of effort and time, the story weaving, the narrative involved, the way that it performed at the box office. There was a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it was arced beautifully, shot beautifully, won all the awards. Chef's kiss. It is the winner.
She's about right. It did make about $2.9 billion worldwide. It received 17 Academy Awards out of 30 noms.
Dang-a-lang.
It's a big deal. I'd say it's definitely in the running, in the top 5.
I have no problem with that. I love Lord of the Rings.
Not a fan, but I'm not going to fight that. That's absolutely the correct answer. That's in there.
You're not a fan of Lord of the Rings,
The first
Mike?
one was just a long hike. I mean,
really
it was nothing but just people hiking, and I was like, this is boring.
Do you have a thing against hobbits?
Kind of. Yeah, magic is not great in movies for me.
I brought my kid to see it at some point, and I was like, wow, did I accidentally buy tickets to like the 13-hour marathon?
Yes.
Because I want to leave.
You loved it.
But
I
did love it at the time. And I think looking back, it had sort of come out not long after the Star Wars prequel, where kind of everything went sideways and stupid.
Yeah.
And I think it was like, oh, yeah, this is how you do a trilogy. This is how you do like a science fiction sort of fantasy trilogy. Peter Jackson nailed it.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
So
good.
All right. What do you think, Brittany?
Okay. I think I'm going to go. We mentioned one that's on my list, but I'm going to go Godfather. It's classic. It does have a story arc. It spans a good amount of time. It feels conclusive in some ways. It's got drama. Did I mention it's a classic? We watched this a lot because my dad had like 3 movies, and this was one of them. This and Goodfellas we watched a lot of, and Field of Dreams.
Now, similar to Lord of the Rings, this won a ton of Academy Awards. It was nominated for 28. It won 9. The first 2 won Best Picture.
Yeah.
It was like the first time a sequel had ever won Best Picture, and then Lord of the Rings also did that. Some might say the third one, 1990, was sort of meh.
Yeah.
But I think it belongs in this list, Mike.
Yeah, I completely agree. It is wonderful. It's a great movie. That has got to be in the top 5 for sure.
All right. I think we've got 2.
Teeter it. I'm going to teeter it.
You're going to teeter it.
We've only talked about 2 things. I mean, it's very close.
Okay, well, let's keep going.
Of all these other ones we're going to talk about, none of them are thought to be maybe one of the greatest movies of all time.
Contrary.
Okay.
Pitch Perfect 3.
I will say, now again, this is where we're going to have a discussion, because if we are going to separate one of the maybe greatest 3 trilogies, maybe the greatest trilogy of all time, we need to decide, are the original Star Wars movies, is that considered just a trilogy?
Yes.
Yes.
Then that's in the top 5. It has to be.
Yes.
I think that's a yes. I think you have I want to argue because I like attention and I like hearing my voice. But well, yeah.
Yeah,
Star Wars has to be in there.
I made a side list of just what I think, and I think right now my top 3 are there. So I think we're all, I don't know, how could it not be?
Star Wars has to be.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's got to be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, High School Musical, there were 3 of them.
It's on my short list here. Do we want to discuss
I'm ready to fight now. This is going to be fun. The final 2, those 3 I think were exactly right. I think it's going to get fun.
Zac Efron.
Wait, are you pulling up? Are you actually formally?
She is.
Are you skipping the line and going with High School Musical? You feel that strongly about High School Musical?
This is happening.
You either pick High School Musical or Austin Powers?
Ooh.
I would pick Austin Powers every day.
You gotta pick one.
You don't have to pick
Yes,
one.
you do. It's a very weird rule.
Pick one of those two.
They're not
You
even
have
like
to
the
pick
same
one.
genre of movie.
You have to pick one.
Have to pick one.
And I believed her. I was like, okay, then I guess Austin Powers.
It worked, didn't it? One of them you
I'm
can get shot with
dumb.
those like go-go's. Boop, 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 boop. And the other one, you're talking about basketballs. It's just basically the same thing.
Rocco, we're gonna put a pin in those two.
All right,
Rocco,
we'll put a
Austin
pin.
Powers, they changed. I mean, there was nothing like it on the market when those came out. Come on.
I'm saying we'll put a pin in it.
It's on the
It's on
borderline.
the bubble.
It's there.
We
It's
have
on the bubble.
3 for sure already.
I
Like,
think you're right.
We only got
Okay.
2 spots left.
So our top 3, we're saying Godfather, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. We
Yeah.
discussed a little bit of Austin Powers and of High School Musical. Mike, you got one to throw in here?
I would just like to. There's a lot of superhero movies we could go on this one, like a lot. We got Iron Man,
Yeah.
you got Thor, you've got Guardians of the Galaxy, you've got the Spider-Man. The one, though, I think from a quality standpoint, like maybe the greatest superhero trilogy of all time, and it should be if it's in this top 5 list, is the Dark Knight series.
yeah.
Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight series. You've got Batman Begins, you got The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. It does not get much better than that. And I think the box office would agree. Critics
Christian
would
Bale
agree.
was the best Batman.
100%. Heath Ledger, Joker. I mean,
How do we argue with that? I feel like the stories are all good. They're all great stories, and they make sense together and they make sense apart, which I feel like sometimes that makes a really good trilogy as well. Like, you could watch this the second one or the third one.
Fine, guys, we can take High School Musical out.
Hey, we're all in this together.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, all you need is High School Musical 1. Do not pass go. Stop. There. That's all you need.
Senior year, though.
You know, similarly, let's say Back to the Future, which did well. Does the third one, the Back to the Western Days one, sort of make you go, meh?
Does it ruin the whole series?
Does it?
not for me, but I know it's a losing battle.
I didn't
here.
even know it was a trilogy.
What?
I just thought it was Back to the Future.
You just thought it was like, wow,
the one.
they sure a lot of clips from these one movie.
I know.
No, the second one got a little dark, and like a lot of good trilogies, they go dark in the second one. Star Wars went dark in the second one, but I don't know. Does the success of the first ones make you go, yeah, that's a trilogy that should make this top 5, or do you go, what else you got?
I don't know, because I do have trouble. I don't think, like, I've watched the third one time, and I said, that's enough of that.
Yeah.
But, like, is it iconic? Does it make sense more as a whole than apart? I don't know.
Back to the Future and Jurassic Park would both make my personal list. I know it's not going to make this list, and I think I'm okay with that.
Well, Jurassic Park, you're relying on the first movie. You're relying on the greatness of the first movie.
We can have a Lost World Jurassic Park discussion at a different time. I
And
love that movie.
Isn't there like 5 Jurassic Parks?
Well, now there's
Yeah.
Jurassic World and everything else, but
I can't see that as a trilogy. Okay.
Okay.
Ocean's 11,
Ooh.
12, 13.
Yeah, there's 3. There was Ocean's 8, which was sort of like the Lady Oceans. Does that count? I mean,
Well, then
Steven
it's not a
Soderbergh made the
trilogy.
first 3.
It's not a trilogy then. And I loved Ocean's 8. I'm just saying, if we're talking trilogy, let's just count the original 3.
Am I the only one who's like, I saw Ocean's 11? I said, that's enough Oceans. Like, it was good.
12 wasn't great. 13 came back. 13
you.
was good.
Wow, we're struggling to fit this fourth slide.
Okay, hear me out.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I know we're a World Wide Web. I know we're like an amazing, everyone's liking and subscribing. I know that people know us worldwide. But here's a secret. Or we should root for the quack, 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 quack. Mighty Ducks,
quack.
baby.
Right here, St. Paul, Minnesota.
Hello.
Ducks fly together.
But it's the best of all time. I'm not arguing it's not a phenomenal movie. Are we being a little homer about this?
I don't know how to respond to becoming a homer.
Yeah, a little homer. Yeah.
In front of all my friends.
Well,
Now, Brittany, you seem like a Hunger Games kind of person, no?
I have Hunger Games on my list. I'm actually very intimidated to say it because I feel like it's going to get shotgun down. But Hunger Games is a very good trilogy. And we've gone kind of all like dark vibes. And I know Hunger Games is 2, but it was like a young adult book. So at least it's like a different audience if we want to appeal to like more than just us.
so High School Musical's back in.
So High School Musical's back in, baby.
Do I hear?
I do love the Hunger Games.
How about Cars?
No.
Cars 1, 2, 3?
No, because Cars 2 is garbage.
Okay.
And I've watched it recently and had real problems with it. I was like, sorry, Go-Go. We got to go elsewhere.
I thought Toy Story for a minute, but now they've done so many.
Correct.
Yeah.
I can't differentiate them.
No,
They're
it's
all
like
just,
in Despicables.
yeah.
So go 1, 2, 3, 4.
So are we down to one, right?
All
One
right,
spot?
we've got Godfather, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. Then what did we?
I think Dark Knight series
I
has
think
to be
we
in
agreed
it.
on Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Dark
So
Knight.
yeah.
So Austin Powers is a maybe.
Here's the thing about Austin Powers.
The spy didn't shag you.
It just doesn't need to be a trilogy. I will say that. If I was going to have one hole, is that like it felt like a movie that they're like, oh, we can make more of these and make more money. Like it didn't. The story didn't necessarily go in like a thread that had to keep
Dr.
going.
Evil kept it going.
Yeah.
I
disagree. It aged like a fine wine. You got
Thank
gold
you.
member by the end, Beyonce.
Oh, Beyonce.
No, I'm just saying that like it was obviously an individual movie that they were all shocked did that well, and then added more storyline. Like it didn't make it wasn't a thought out thread. I will say that.
Mini me.
I feel like it's getting more momentum than anything else at this point.
Well, half the screen is on board.
We would choose that over Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Wow.
I liked the books better than the movies.
Austin Powers.
They were phenomenal books.
There's a lot of coloring involved.
All right. Well,
Culture.
I think I lose this one.
This
Should
spot,
we?
Austin Powers sneaks
I
in.
cannot believe it.
Number 5, Austin Powers. Are we saying it?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
All right.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, baby.
So I think
It's such
our
a bad
top,
impression.
Well, I think what it really boils down to is this.
Yeah.
I once again approved of 3
I knew she was going to go on this.
of our bits. And I just want to say, as far as this segment is concerned, I am the champion.
Wow.
Oh.
Here, I think it's like a group consciousness. I think it's just like coming together. And somehow Kendall has
Everything's
weaponized
a competition,
5
Brittany.
at 5 to the point where she's like buys herself a crown with a big 5 on it.
I got 5 on my crown.
Number 5.
There she is. Although in
Hey.
Kendall's opinion, she's all right. We've got it. We've got the Godfather, the Lord of the Rings, the Star Wars, the Austin Powers, and the Dark Knight. Those are our 5 biggest, best trilogies of all time.
Good job, guys.
So happy about AP right
great
now.
list.
Oh,
Great
it's a
list.
Great list.
Great list.
We
Thanks,
should watch
Rock.
them.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Let's watch them today.
Why not?
We've got time.
It's a couple movies.
It's just 15 movies. Don't worry about it.
Lord of the Rings alone and Star Wars alone will
man.
take us a week.
Thanks, Rocco. And if you agree, disagree, tell us in the comments, like and subscribe. We'll be back here at My Talk 1071.